Dude, I was having a dream last night, and inside this dream that I had, it was like I just spawned out of nowhere in this dream, and I was being shown a presentation like on a whiteboard, or it was like a projection screen or something like that, and it just showed up with 7.5K views or 7.7K views on a short, like back to back. It was so weird. It was like three shorts that are up and coming that'll take off a little bit in the algorithm. And I mean, 7,000 people viewing a short, it's a lot of people in the sense that if you put that in a stadium, it's full, right? That's like a semi-professional football, yeah, a semi-professional football game in a stadium, right? Um, and so it's a lot of people. It ain't the biggest level. Of course, you have fully professional League One football where you're going to see stadiums of at the very least 20,000 people in capacity up to probably about 80,000 people in capacity, right? So there's still a lot of levels to go up from just 7,000 people watching. But to get that within one day, it's a lot. And I don't know, I had a dream of that. And I feel like I'll get that in the near future. I don't know when exactly it'll come, but I feel like it'll happen. I feel like the dreams we have are so unexplainable. And I feel like obviously not all dreams become reality, but I don't know what it is with this dream, but I just have some type of weird conviction. But anyway, I think the video that I was trying to make is the journey from going from poor to rich is wildly traumatic. I don't think people understand the pain and hurt of seeing like everybody else around you supposedly doing better and simultaneously telling you to do something more similar to them and do something different from what you're doing. And you're already seeing some small results. You're already kind of, seeing the cracks that you can fucking enter inside of, but they don't want to give you that, you know, recognition for experiencing that, even if it's at, to a small degree. Because to them, if it's not a million views, if it's not 100,000 views, you ain't doing shit. If it's not a billion views, you ain't doing shit. So you just kind of have to keep at it and keep, wedging the door until the crack grows larger. And then that's when you can finally have the breathing room to like fit your full body into, and then that's when they're going to notice you on the other side. Once you can stand up and you see all the bright lights, it's like, wow, I'm on stage, I'm performing live and I'm getting paid like a huge bag to do this. And this is what I've been practicing all this time for. So it's crazy. Many people won't understand the pain of people telling you something different, leaving you because of what you're doing, girlfriends in and out the door, family members in and out the door, everyone. And that's just how the journey goes. But like, it would be boring if I was to just come up within like a few months or a few weeks or a few months, right? And then be like, damn, look, I made it. It's like, yeah, well, where did you make it from? Like, I didn't really see any type of rise or, long-standing impact before you reached a certain level. So that's what I'm trying to create, right? Building a brand, building a community, and patience is like, and perseverance through all the setbacks is really what's going to make you stand out, especially in this day and age. I feel like, because a lot of people are blowing up quick, which is cool. I think it's a good thing if you can sustain it, obviously, but and even if you can't, I mean, you can always save, reinvest that into something else, and carry on. But for me, I've been doing this now for what, 10 months. And I had a long break in between this. I wasn't doing content for like 6 months. So I was really only doing content when I first started out. It was from April to like July time, right? So what's that? Like 3 months? It was really nothing, And so now I've been back since January. So been back in the game for about a month. So technically 4 months, right? But if you want to factor in the actual duration from when I started the channel and first uploaded video up until now, then it would be 10 months. But if you want to say like for total activity, it would be 4 months, 5 months, something like that, right? So, and it's like, I learned that on my return, I learned that yo, I should have stuck to this. And I need to stick to this going forward because it's only going to benefit me more and more and more, right? And, you know, all of the trauma that you get from when you're broke and then when you're finally rich. And it's just crazy having to conceptualize all these things, all the negativity, you know, and all the positivity as well on the journey is so much to handle. It's absolutely ridiculous, you know, for one person to have to on board, but it's just what it takes, you know. So I could sit here and complain, but I'm not going to do that. But what I am is just giving you a visualization and a picture of what it is, you know, behind the scenes of like going from small to something like, you know, out of this world. And yeah, it's crazy, you know, and I don't blame anyone for being like, you're not going to make it doing this because so many people have these aspirations, they just don't take action or they don't continue with the action long enough to see it out, you know. And I said, nah, fuck that. I'm going to take the action. I'm going to keep going. I don't give a fuck. I'm making my content. I like making this content and I'm going to turn it into something that I can monetize, you know. Who's going to tell me not to? No one's going to tell me not to. I can continue to do it, you know, if I want to, and I will. It's that simple. And the trauma is just, it's wild. It's you know, it's really one of those things where I'm like, holy shit, I got so much on my plate and I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this, but I've got to because it's the only way I'm going to see some gains. And it's just like, it's wild. So yeah, you know, you're going to lose a lot of money, lose a lot of people, but after all of this, I just hope I have way more money than I lost. I just hope I have way more people in my life than I've lost as well. And it's just really going on this journey and sticking it out. You know, it's one thing to say I'm going to do something and stick at it. But when you're actually doing it, you're in the thick of it and you're like, there's all this other shit going on around me. And it's so distracting, you know, having to tell people, no, I don't want to go to this party. No, I don't want to go out and like grab a drink, you know. Really annoying, you know, because sometimes I just want that downtime and it's like I can't have it, you know. Got to sacrifice all this downtime I have right now to create or curate a life where I can have an extended period of downtime further ahead, you know, in my lifetime. So that's the goal, you know. And these videos, they're going to help me do that. And yeah, that's really just the story. So I want y'all to stay tuned and just keep following on the journey, bro. Real talk, because we're going to make it. Me and you, we're going to make it.